Right, what is going on, guys, and welcome to episode number 1 of the Natty season. This is just going to be an intro video, essentially going through what my plans are for my 2021 contest prep. Natty season is basically the name that I've given it, just because this will obviously be my first fully documented drug-free kind of bodybuilding prep, hence why the Natty season. For those, because I know there's going to be some people obviously going into why do you have to mention that you're doing it drug-free and naturally. I think it's important to kind of mention, I think it's important to highlight that there is a massive fundamental difference between doing a kind of bodybuilding contest prep using anabolic steroids and then obviously doing it drug-free. As you will see in the kind of in the kind of long run of this series and this contest prep, there is a massive difference between the two, and I think it's important to highlight just off the bat that this will be a drug-free one. I myself, obviously, I'm a drug-free bodybuilder. I've been competing now since 2016. I've competed for about 2016. I competed in 2017. I did again in 2018, and then since 2018, I basically had like a 2-year gaining phase, which has led to 2021, where I will now be competing again, obviously, in 27 weeks' time, assuming that everything goes to plan. So, current kind of goals and ambitions for this year is obviously to compete mainly in the drug-free bodybuilding federations here in the UK. Obviously, with the coronavirus situation at the moment, everything is a little bit kind of like up in the air. So it is just kind of aiming for shows that are out there, the show dates that have been kind of put out, and then obviously seeing what happens. But if all goes to plan, and if everything kind of happens when it's meant to happen, my first show will be in 27 weeks' time. So getting started now. I will be going into my contest prep. I've got a little whiteboard here, which just runs through basically some of the little cues that I want to touch on in this video. So obviously the first thing is that I will be doing my first show in 27 weeks. However, I plan on doing more than one show. So I'm looking at competing from kind of like August time through to like November. Obviously that is, based on the fact that hopefully they will all happen. But that is my goal. I always think it's important. Number one thing for anyone looking to compete, always kind of give yourself a window to compete in. Don't just aim and get your heart set on like one particular show, because if you're not ready like on time for that specific show, or that show doesn't happen for some reason, or something happens during your contest prep which delays things, it can just mess with you mentally. Obviously, you've got your heart set on that one show and then it doesn't happen, it can completely screw over everything. So instead, what I always suggest, and do this to my clients as well, is aim for a window of like several weeks, and then obviously that within that time frame there's going to be shows to compete in, and then you kind of aim for a few weeks rather than just like a specific show. Obviously, that is based on the fact that you're an amateur and not like a pro or something like that. Multiple shows obviously over the 10 weeks. The categories that I'm looking at competing in are going to be firstly the natural bodybuilding ones, but then I will also look at competing in men's physique and classic as well, within the non-drug tested federations. So for anyone that has kind of followed my preps in the past, I've put like a few little videos up on YouTube in the past about them, but prior to this year I've never competed in a fully drug tested federation or show. When I first started, the reason was that I didn't know they existed. I think over the last few years, natural bodybuilding has become a lot more visible within the bodybuilding community, and now there is a lot more shows, a lot more attention brought to the area of drug-free natural bodybuilding, which I think is fantastic. But obviously when I first started out, I wanted to kind of go down the men's physique route, which I did. And at the time, the only way that you could compete with men's physique was going down the non-drug tested route. So that's what I did. I did quite well as a junior. I ended up winning 2 shows in my kind of like first full year, along with the Arnold Classic Europe, and then placed highly at the British finals in the UK as well. And then in 2018, I was still a junior, but what I ended up doing was I wanted to see where I stood amongst kind of the people who are looking to turn IFBB pro. So I competed in America, in Las Vegas, and also India, in classic physique and men's physique. I placed within the kind of like second call outs, which obviously it's not like the goal, it's never the goal to place in second call outs, but that year for me was more just to kind of see what the competition was like on a global scale, and seeing if I had what it kind of took to kind of compete like naturally at that sort of level in the next few years, which I think realistically speaking, if you want to turn IFBB pro, and for those of you who have the goal of doing that, I think realistically that is a goal that, unless you are someone who has been competing and you're in like your 30s, for example, have a lot of muscle maturity, or someone who has like, you know, blessed with fantastic genetics, I think it's very, very difficult now to compete at that level as a natural. Obviously, there's people that do it, but I think they're either people that are very, very genetically blessed, or they have been doing it for a very, very long time and built up that kind of maturity over the years. But anyway, obviously the goal for this year, push out the window, the goal for this year is natural bodybuilding. So that is the goal. It's not men's physique, it is natural bodybuilding. So you will see me in a small pair of pants on stage at some point this year. I'm sure you can be really happy to see that. Just to run through the stats of things at the moment. So obviously I've been in a gaining phase for the last like 2.5 years pretty much, which is a long time. I've taken it very, very seriously. Like I've treated my off season or my gaining phase like a contest prep. I've made sure that I'm constantly like hitting my meals, training like I was in a contest prep. Everything has been very, very regimented, and I've been basically, you know, acting like I'm a professional athlete in order to make the most from it. I do this is essentially the way that I look at it. I do it as a job. I do it as a career. I'm a full-time online coach, and I've been doing that for the last few years. So for me, bodybuilding is not like a hobby. It's not a side thing. It's physically like my career. It's my job. It is the thing that takes up the majority of my time and the kind of energy and that throughout the day. Obviously, coaching being very kind of interlinked with that. To go through where I am at the minute, I am currently, as of recording this video, around 215 to 217 pounds, which obviously is around about 98 kilos. I think I'm right, pretty much. It's around that sort of area. That's my current body weight. To get into the middleweights for natural bodybuilding, which for like my height, I think that's probably the most sensible kind of goal to aim for, to be most competitive. I would have to get down to 176 pounds, and obviously to compete in classic, it would be 175 pounds within the IFBB, which is the non-drug tested one. So essentially I've got about 40 pounds to lose over the next 27 weeks, which may or may not be doable, but we will see. That is the goal. If I have built more muscle than I think I have, then obviously that would be a good thing, and I might not be able to get that kind of light. But I think that I should be able to get down to that weight, and hopefully the goal is to do well this year and just see what we can do. So yeah, that is pretty much the rundown of my contest prep. As things stand, I am on roughly about 3,800 calories. I am doing 10,000 steps a day, and then I am doing 20 minutes cardio on the bike, which is over here, on a rest day. Training, in terms of training, I'm training on a split, which is legs, push, back, arms, rest, repeat. So kind of works out like 5-6 days a week. I will be running through my like training and my nutrition and stuff in separate videos, going into a lot more detail. After I finish up filming this, I'm actually going to film a full kind of day of eating, which is going to start with me prepping my food. So I plan on kind of showing absolutely everything from start to finish, all the little nitty gritty bits that make up a contest prep. For those who don't like follow my Instagram, stuff like that, which probably like most people who are watching this, I just kind of am very much someone who just says stuff as it is. I do swear quite a lot. I don't want to be like an influencer, or I don't want like sponsorships and shit like that. So I'm not really bothered about kind of going down a bit of a controversial route if I feel like it needs to be said. So just a warning for anyone watching this. I will just say it as it is, and if it offends anyone, then kind of don't watch my videos. But yeah, obviously that is essentially what I wanted to get out and what I wanted to put for this first video. I hope anyone that's new to the channel, obviously subscribe if you want to see like more videos, and obviously watch this contest prep come along. I don't really like obviously the goal for me is to kind of share this knowledge. Like I've been doing this for a long time. I do it for a job. I started off just like most people. I was, you know, going to the gym when I was at kind of college and school. I didn't have an absolute clue about nutrition, didn't have a clue about training, I didn't have a clue about anything. I just really wanted to kind of get into bodybuilding, and that's kind of what I did. I've spent the last like 11 years progressing, like constantly putting effort into this, and I've gone from obviously being that like kid who had absolutely no clue what they're doing. I was absolutely tiny as well. I'll try and throw up some pictures, but I was absolutely tiny. I've kind of gone from that, and now I do this full time as a living. So I thought it's time for me to kind of like give back a little bit, and to do that I wanted to start obviously a YouTube channel, start this contest prep series, and just basically just give away everything that I currently do to hopefully show people who are watching this, who kind of want to go down a similar path than what I have, like how it is done, and hopefully it can kind of fast track your ability to get the sort of results and not make a lot of the mistakes that I made along the way. So I'm gonna leave the video there. Obviously, if you enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe, make sure you give it a like, and obviously any questions that you have for me at all, drop them down in the comments. I will be getting back to every single comment that is left on every single video throughout this contest prep. So if you have any questions, drop it down below. If you want to contact me directly, you can do so on Instagram. My DMs are always open. I'm always free to help kind of people if they want any advice or anything like that. Feel free to obviously click down in the kind of like show more button at the bottom, and you can kind of go straight over to my Instagram, send me a DM if you have any questions. Coaching wise, obviously I'm a full-time online coach. If you do want any help with coaching, feel free again. I'll drop my website down below, and it will be in there for every kind of video. If you ever want to reach out for coaching, you can do so either by my email or on Instagram. Aside from that, guys, obviously I appreciate any love that you showed to the videos and the season that I'm about to kind of put up in regards to contest prep. If you've watched it this far, again, many thanks for myself. Feel free to like it, subscribe, all the other crap, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But thanks again for watching.